Hey guys, my name's Lucy, and today we're playing Cinderella Phenomenon. It's a game made by Daisuke back in 2016. Feels so long ago. But yeah, I played this game whenever it came out, and there's a sequel now. The sequel that was just released last year. So I want to play the sequel, but I thought that it'd be good to start where it all came into play in the first game. There is like a recommended order to play the routes in, but we're just going to ignore that and just do our own thing. I already have an idea of who I want to go for. So, yeah, let's get into it.
In a monochrome world, working from the side through her lonely eyes. It reflects the ocean and stars, but her cry echoes around the simple loss of love in her heart, making this whole fairy tale alive. Mirth and sorrow's tender embrace. This was never meant to happen. The only reason you have to stay. Hear me sing my song and just keep holding on. Cinderella, why don't you stay with me tonight? We will dance until winter comes and we could run away. Oh, we will never ever be apart. Set aside all your fears, this magic lives inside your heart. I am here, would you wanna stay with me tonight? Follow me, we will run across the bridge of fantasy. Oh, all the pain and sadness that you feel. Believe in me, hold me close, don't ever let me go. Come and stay with me forever. Magic lives so long as I am here.
Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there were two crystals. One was the crystalline Lucius, protected by the rule of the fairies. Also, if I pronounce anything bad, like, it's my first time. Well, not first time playing a game, but it's my first time like reading it actually aloud. So, please bear with me. I'll get the names right eventually. The other was the crystalline tenebrarium, which was watched over by the High Leader of the Witches. The Lucius was sustained by love, happiness, and joy. The tenebrarium by fear, anger, and hatred. The fairies and witches lived in harmony with the humans of the kingdom. They regulated the powers of the crystals in order to maintain balance between light and darkness, or darkness and light rather. For there can be no joy without sadness, no courage without fear. The kingdom was at peace for a time. Then one day, a traveling bard decided to write stories, tales of the magic and wonders of the kingdom. He named these stories fairy tales. In fairy tales, the light always emerged victorious, and true love was a usual reward. The fairy tales spread further than could have been predicted. The humans of the kingdom began to believe the fairy tales were true, and that the magic of the witches was inherently wicked and cruel. The witches became hated and feared. Eventually, they were hunted like animals. The Witch Hunt. Nice name. The High Leader of the Witches, in all of her anger, created the Fairytale Curse. You think we are wicked? So be it. Just as you have taken our happily ever afters, we shall take yours. The witches used the Fairytale Curse to attack humans indiscriminately. There we go. Ultimately throwing the kingdom into chaos and darkness. The ruler of the fairies, the Lucius Bearer, sought to regain peace. But the witches were blinded by their hatred for humans. who were responsible for the witch genocide. The terrible war, the Great War, began. Eventually, a Tenebrarian bearer, the high leader of the witches, was finally defeated. The Tenebrarian was lost, peace was restored, and the light once again triumphed. But darkness can never fully disappear. It waits in the shadows, patient for when its time will inevitably return. Alright, and now we can name our character. Okay. Lucette is a nice name, but I could use my own name for this. Might be a little bit weird. Sure, let's go with Bounty. Why not? Oh, look at that T. Ah, so beautiful. Okay. Prologue. The Princess. My name is Taylor Riella Britton, daughter of King Scenario Britton III. I am the crown princess of the kingdom of Angielle? Angielle, I guess? At least, that was who I used to be. But that was before yesterday, when I became a victim of the infamous Fairytale Curse. Aww. Aww. Oh, this is sad. Everyone has forgotten my birthright. Now, I am nothing more than a lowly peasant. I feel like I'm stuck in a nightmare. No. Look at me trying to act all sad. But no, this is my reality now. I still have no idea what I must do to break the curse. I close my eyes and remember that day. It had started out like any other day. Day. Pronunciation. Have you heard? Another person was cursed. I am on my way to the dining hall for breakfast when I stop and listen to the sound of hushed voices. There are two maids standing next to each other with brooms in hand. These two were slacking off again. That's terrible! What fairytale curse was it? They say it was Pinocchio. Pinocchio? The fairy tale with the lying boy whose nose grows longer? That's awful! You know, more and more people have been getting cursed lately. You think those You think those wicked witches are up to something again? I thought the fairytale curses would stop after you-know-who was defeated. Voldemort? Okay. You two were hired to work, not talk. We're sorry, Your Highness. As can only be expected from the likes of them. Another fairytale curse. The fairytale curse started spreading even before the Great War began. I do not have much interest in its effects, even now. After all, most humans probably deserve to get cursed. The victims are weak. Angielle would be better off without a dead weight. Jeez, okay. If it were up to Mother, the curse would have been banished from Angielle the instant they fell prey to it. But Mother's not here anymore. She will not come back. Ever. Princess, the king and queen are waiting in the dining hall. I am on my way. The king, Ophelia, and Rod are all present in the dining hall. Someone is conspicuously missing, but I ignored their absence. What voice should I do for him? Good morning, Taylor. Good morning, Your Majesty. Good morning, Taylor. My character's like, that bitch. Taylor? Ophelia? Ophelia Woodensov. Every day I wonder if my father, the king, married a lowly baker. She could never be a true queen, for she pales in comparison to Mother. I take my seat next to the king, then look up at the person sitting opposite me. Ooh, got a little bunny rabbit on his shoulder, okay. Oh, that's her stepbrother, never mind. Never mind. I was gonna be like, oh, is he romanceable? He is not. He's our brother. Rod Benedict Winitzoff, my stepbrother, is bored and quiet as usual. He is 2 years my junior and is the younger of Philia's children. He is mute and uses a plush bunny to voice his thoughts. It was apparently given to him by a fairy. He minds his own business and is easy to deal with. But his older sister... My eyes go to the empty seat beside him. She's probably the most infuriating person I have ever had the displeasure of knowing. Jeez. Oh, there she goes. I'm so sorry I'm late. I was reading and forgot the time. And here she is. Good morning, dear father, mother. Good morning, Rod. And good morning to you too, Taylor. It's a beautiful morning, isn't it? So why is she infuriating? Or you just hate people. You just hate. I guess we know what kind of character our protagonist is. At the moment, Emmeline Winitzoff, Rod's older sister and my stepsister. She acts as if we are blood, as if she too were born a princess. As if she could be crown princess, perhaps steal my place. I will never let that happen. Now that everyone is here, let us begin. Butlers glide inside with silver trays of carefully serviced breakfast. So, Emmeline, you're reading the fairy tale books that the king brought you? Oh yes, there are so many and they are all so wonderful. Thank you so much, Father. I am happy that you like them. I love them. It's so strange that the library didn't have any of them to begin with. That is because Mother hated them. She had all the books burned. But why? They are such charming stories. Fairy tales mislead humans into believing they can have things they do not deserve. Fame, riches, love, happily ever afters. And when their wishes do not come to fruition exactly as they want them to, the humans blame the witches for granting them in the first place. What are you implying about the witches, Taylor? The atmosphere shifts, the air in the room growing heavy. I continue to eat. Perhaps witches are not responsible for the evil in this world. Perhaps humans are the cause of their own downfall. Have you any idea what you are talking about, child? Interesting. I mean, we've been told that, like, it's kind of the fault of, like, the humans for believing these fairy tales, like, are actually true and that witches are evil. So these are, like, the same events that, like, we know of. That, like, our main character is referring to. But apparently my family is just like, no, the witches are evil. They're evil. They must be extinguished. Witches have caused nothing but pain and suffering to this kingdom. Even now, they still spread the fairytale curse to our innocent subjects. Oops, didn't mean to do that. The truth is, I know very little about the time the witches had free reign over Angielle. I was very young then, and Mother forbade me to leave the palace, sometimes even my room. I know nothing of the people's supposed pain and suffering. Mother kept me away from everyone, and so I cannot bring myself to care. How do you know the cursed are innocent? Our people have been toiling day and night to rebuild Angielle after the Great War. Our people are the kingdom's foundation, and I am endlessly grateful for their determination and resolve. Oh, my words. Every day I wonder what your mother taught you about. Leave Mother out of this. Dear, please. Taylor, darling, your father didn't mean to. I am not one of your children, Ophelia. I do not need your sympathy. Oh, dang. those are some fighting words. Taylor, you will show your mother respect, but see, that's the thing though, she's not our mom. She's not our mom. I mean, but she's not our mom. But she is like our stepmother. I mean, I don't know. It's just like, yes, we should show her respect, but she's not our mother. She's never gonna be our mother because, like, you know, that's just how some people feel. But yeah, we should show respect. We're kind of being a brat right now. She is not my mother. I set down my fork and knife and stand up. I am done. Excuse me. Dang, what the food? My father and I have never got on, but our relationship has significantly worsened since he married the baker. My father, King. It has been 17 years and I have never felt any love from him. He treats Emmeline and Rod, who only entered our life 1 year ago, like his own children. Better than he has ever treated me. This has been my life ever since Mother passed away 4 years ago. Mother was the only one that was there for me when no one else was. If it wasn't for the accident during the Great War, she would still be here. Oh, geez, who's this man? Is he one of our love interests? I don't even know what voice I should give him. Okay. Why the sour face so early in the morning, princess? Oh, this is gonna be CG. Who's this? I think his name's Fitzgerald? Let me guess. It's the king, the queen, or Princess Emmeline? Or is it all of them? I ignore his question. Fritz, what are you doing here so early? I'm running some errands for my father. Fitzgerald Aiden Leverton, son of the highest knight of the Order of Caldera. His father, Sir Alcastar, has served the royal family for many years. Sir Alcastar is one of the king's most trusted advisors. 3 years ago, Fritz was assigned the honor of becoming my personal knight. His presence is the only company I can tolerate nowadays. You should wait in the throne room then. Thank you. Princess? Yes. You know, I haven't seen you smile once since I met you. And why is that of any importance? Still, I do hope to see you smile one day, princess. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I'll see you at 10. 10? Don't tell me you've forgotten. Forgotten what? You're going to town today, remember? I deflate as the realization dawns upon me. It's been 2 days since the king issued the order. Taylor, I would like you to accompany Emmeline on one of her town outings. Surely you could send maids with her instead. I would not have requested you to accompany her if I was going to send her with her maids. I want you to make an effort to get along with your sister. Stepsister. She is your sister, and you will treat her and Rod as if they were of your blood. See, that's the thing. That's the thing that I don't like. It's only been a year. It can take a really long time for people to get adjusted to their new family members, especially if they're like, if one of their parents has died and like the other parent is remarrying. I mean, it's just like I don't know, like it's like, okay, you were able to like move on in a sense, like in a sense that, like, you know, you were able to find someone that you loved and married them, yeah, but like your parent, I mean, not your parents, your children are gonna take much longer to get adjusted to that. That's just how it is. Especially if like you've never quote unquote shown us love. I'm sure there's a plot reason for that. I mean, this guy seems pretty like cool, so I'm sure there's a plot reason for like why he hasn't shown us any love. But it's just like that. It is not like we're not gonna, the children are not gonna immediately consider the siblings as their actual siblings. So it's like, you know, like you can't just say you have to like gradually bring people in. You can't just be like, oh, this is a new person in your life, you're gonna have to accept them. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not how it works. 2 days from now, you're going to accompany Emmeline outside. My girl is just like, Nani? It's been 4 days since you last- oh, 4 years since you last left the palace. Ever since then, you have locked yourself away. You barely leave your room. Angielle was in the grip of war back then, but now the kingdom is safe and back to its former glory. I want you to see how beautiful Angielle really is. Taylor, a princess must know her kingdom. Go with them, Elaine, and she will show you the town that you only ever see through your windows. Is that in order? If it needs to be. Are we clear? Taylor? Understood. See, it seems like he does love her, because like if he didn't love her, he'd be like, I don't know, he wouldn't be taking the steps necessary to like get her to like befriend her like new sister. He would just be like, oh, well, you're not trying to have these new shiny children and like shiny wife to take care of, you know? So it seems like he does love her, but I mean, it's like 17 years, like what happened in those years? Like, you know, what happened? Why does our father, like, why didn't our father show us love back then, you know? Okay. The last time I left the palace was 4 years ago, when the king took me with him to check on the people after the Great War had ended. I shake my head, removing myself from the memory. I am safe here. Princess? Are you alright? It won't be that bad. The townsfolk are good people. How can you be so sure? Times have changed. People change. That is precisely the problem. Mother never changed. Mother loved me until the end. Sometimes change is for the better, Princess. I think you'll see that today. Oh, I'm sure we will. If you'll excuse me, I shall see you later. Oh, this is our room. Oh, I thought I was. I thought this was like a person. This is a doll. Delora, do you think witches are capable of bringing back the dead? I wish you could talk to me, you and the others. My dolls are my only friends. They're the only ones I can trust. Yeah, she seems like incredibly sheltered, and for that, it's like, I don't know, it just like everything in her past just seemed like a whirlwind, like of a storm. To bring it to where we are today, where she like barely comes out of her room, she's mean, she doesn't like her dad or much of anyone for that matter. So yeah. Now here we are. Unlike humans, they will never betray me. They will never hurt me. They will always be there for me.